You're watching Canadian Muslim News on Muslim Network TV from Toronto, Ontario. I'm Catherine Bullock. Assalamu alaikum and greetings of peace. Today, a conversation with two Muslim women about their film company called Snow Angels. But first, some news headlines. Canadian Muslim COVID-19 Task Force releases 2022 Ramadan guidelines. Calgary City Council should not fund legal challenge on Bill 21, says Task Force. New Brantford Community Centre opens with added security measures. And Ukraine's president urges ban of Russian vessels from international ports. And now the details. The Canadian Muslim COVID-19 Task Force is outlining their recommendations on how Muslims can stay safe while observing Ramadan this year. The task force suggests holding prayers without social distancing, so long as it's permissible by local public health units. They also recommend you self-screen before attending the mosque and wear a mask while indoors. Discouraged actions include staying overnight for itikaf, enforcing vaccine mandates, and participating in indoor iftar gatherings. The guidelines come as multiple provinces expect a sixth COVID wave with the new Omicron BA.2 variant. A Calgary City task force recommends the city refrain from allocating public funds towards Bill 21 legal challenge. Spending tax dollars on the controversial Quebec bill that prevents public sector workers from wearing religious symbols is not advised due to concerns over jurisdiction, says the task force. Councillor Jasmine Mian, a task force member, says that Calgarians are collectively opposed to Bill 21 and that some are open to privately donating in the legal challenge. But the City of Calgary should look into funding the Anti-Racism Action Committee and strengthening ties with the community to address local issues, Mian says. A new community centre in Brantford, Ontario has opened its doors since Sunday. Mayor Kevin Davis, MP Larry Brock and Will Boomer joined dozens of community members at the opening. President of the association, Nasser Hamid, says that in spite of an open door policy, unfortunately, the doors will be locked, as told to local media. He says that this is a security measure put in place in light of the deadly attack in a Quebec City mosque 5 years ago that left 6 worshippers dead. Members will punch in an access code to enter. The new centre serves the 200 to 250 Muslim families Hamid says live in Brantford. The Ukrainian president is urging a ban on Russian vessels from international ports amid the latest wave of new sanctions against Moscow. In a video address to the Australian federal government, Volodymyr Zelensky says that powerful sanctions are needed until Russia stops blackmailing other countries with nuclear missiles. Any dollar spent on Russian products means paying for the destruction of the Ukrainian people, he says. Zelensky also reiterated his call for international aid to restore Ukraine. The UN estimates that thousands of civilians have been injured or killed since the war began on February 24, with millions displaced and seeking refuge. And that's it for the news. The last time I saw one of our next guests, she was the principal of an Islamic school in Ontario, and now she is a successful filmmaker, along with her sister, SAIRA RAHMAN and NILUFER RAHMAN. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the show.
Walaikum salam, rahmatullah, Kathy. It's so nice to see you after all these years.
I know, it's nice to see you too and to meet your sister NILUFER. Okay, so tell us the story. Last time I saw you, you were the principal of an Islamic Islamic school. It was a full-day, full-time school. Mm-hmm. And now you are a successful filmmaker. How'd you do that?
Well, it took a lot of time and a lot of a sharp learning curve, I guess you could say. I hadn't gone to film school. Neither of us have gone to film school. We've been taking short programs and so on. My first introduction into film was with A New Life in a New Land, the Muslim experience in Canada, which I worked with in 2002, 2003, with Michael Milo and Florida-Lisa Dayrit, who are creators of the streaming channel Muslim Kids TV, which is doing phenomenally globally now. And then NILUFER and I took film workshops locally. And then I think, I made a decision that was really a long way coming. I trusted my gut and thought, this is what I want to do. At least I want to try it. At least I want to, give it a good go before I don't at all. And that would be sad. So
those kind of career changes are always really scary. And Nilufer, did you give her a nudge? Like, what was your involvement in that?
It kind of happened really organically because our interests just sort of aligned. They've always aligned since we were kids. We used to play together a lot as kids and, use our imagination a lot. And, we've always lived in the same city together. So as we grew older, we kind of decided that we wanted to be able to express ourselves more creatively. And it just made sense to do something together. So it was a very organic and enjoyable decision and process.
I'm interested that you used the word enjoyable. A lot of sisters spend their time squabbling.
Yeah.
We
did. I mean, we had our share of squabbling, but we, from childhood, we used to play a lot together. We, for the most part, we got along. And for the most part, we were always sort of on the same page. And it was just a natural kind of progression that we would end up as adults working together on creative projects. I think we help each other bring out the creative side. And yeah, this was just something that came naturally. I think that I've always thought that if you seek guidance from Allah, like you were saying, yes, a career change can be scary. I don't think it was scary for me because I felt that, Allah guides us through intuition, and we do have to listen to our heart. I think that's where Allah's guidance comes from. And I feel very strongly about that. And
tell us about the name Snow Angel Films. That's a very special name.
Yeah. Snow Angel Films was a name we landed on after a lot of brainstorming, but we wanted to decide on something that reflected where we're from, Winnipeg. We get a lot of snow here, but also that sort of creative time from our childhood when we used to make a lot of snow angels. We'd be lying in the snow, making a snow angel. And when you do that, you look up at the sky and you feel this sense of wonder and sense of hope. And that's really what we try to do in our films. Even if we're trying to address challenging topics, we still want the viewer to come away with a sense of hope and positivity. So yeah, that's where Snow Angel came from.
Well, that's lovely. And there must be some kind of attraction to snow for you guys, because wasn't the first film the one you did about taking the mosque up north?
Yes, it was called Arctic Mosque. That was our first feature documentary film. It just kind of landed on our laps and we thought we have to make a film about this. It's such a bizarre story. And it ended up being picked up by Canadian news across the country as it traveled up to Inuvik, Northwest Territories. And alhamdulillah, we had the opportunity of going up there and meeting the 100 Muslims that lived there that were waiting for their new mosque, purpose-built mosque. And it was just a really special time, and that we will always treasure. And that was our flagship film.
Right, and that was about taking a mosque on the back of a truck up to the Arctic, right?
Yes, 4,000 kilometers.
That's quite
yeah, by road and by barge.
From Winnipeg to Inuvik.
Yeah. So you've recently been spotlighted by CBC, by South Asian women entrepreneurs and filmmakers. So congratulations for that. Do you want to tell us, Nilufer, a little bit about what that has meant to you?
Well, that was a really nice experience. CBC was trying to reach out to different communities, diverse communities in Manitoba. And so they wanted to do something for the South Asian community. So they actually set up a pop-up space in one of our malls here in the city. And they were featuring all different types of South Asian artists, from, filmmakers to visual artists to, musicians and etc. And it was an opportunity for us to connect with other artists in the city, and inshallah, maybe future collaborators. And it was a nice way to highlight South Asian artists in the city, and a lot of Winnipeg community members got to be exposed to those pieces of art.
And while I have you on screen, do you have a favorite film out of your collection, NILUFER? Yeah.
Out of our own films?
Yeah, out of your own films.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's tough. I mean, all the films are special, not just because of the subject matter, but also the people that we made, because most of our films are documentary. But I guess, Arctic Mosque does have a special place in my heart, just because it gave us the opportunity to go up north as well, which was such a beautiful experience, not just meeting the Muslim community, but meeting the town, the people in the town, the Inuvialuit and Gwich'in communities up there, and learning about the culture and feeling the connectivity between us and those communities. So that was a really important experience.
And what about you, SAIRA? Do you have one of your films as a favorite film?
I would agree with Nil, Arctic Mosque, because it was just, for us, it was such a refreshing, different experience, the traveling that we got to do. And we would have never have gone to the Arctic, sadly, if it wasn't for this film. So very grateful, alhamdulillah, very grateful for being able to do that.
And how can people watch these films? Are they still available?
Yeah, some of them are accessible on our Snow Angel Films YouTube page. And we're hopefully they will be available all on our website very soon, so people can go there, watch Arctic Mosque, Prairie Mosque. Some of them are free, some of them require a small rental fee, which will go towards future projects.
Well, speaking of future projects, we're almost out of time, but SAIRA, how about just telling us in, like 15 seconds, what's the next project?
Well, we have some ideas in mind. We have one that we are in development right now. Don't want to talk too much about it because it is in development. But the setting is Winnipeg, and we are sort of, as a company, at a milestone, because we're shifting away from non-scripted to scripted, which is hugely exciting for us. We love documentary, but we've really, kind of yearned to do fiction. So yeah, that's where we're headed right now. So stay tuned.
Well, we will stay tuned. Unfortunately, we're out of time now, but we wish you luck. We wish you well. May Allah bless you in your work. And thank you for joining us on the show.
Thank you so much, Kathy. Thanks for having us.
Thank you, Kathy. Ramadan Mubarak to everyone.
Ramadan Kareem.
Ramadan Kareem. And you've been watching Canadian Muslim News. Thank you for your attention. If you like what we do, share, like, and subscribe. Stay safe, and God bless.